Hi everyone, this is Dr. Lancaster. If you are watching this video, you are probably ready to jump into class and get started with Module 1. I hope your semester is off to a good start. I know there's always so many hoops to jump through and so many new things to learn before you can actually sit down and get busy with your classes. So I hope things calm down for you soon if they're not calm already, and that you can be ready to jump into class. What I'd like to do in this video is just kick you off for Module 1. And basically, I'm going to go through this PowerPoint presentation. In the video, I'll attach this PowerPoint as well in your Module 1 area. But what I'd like to cover in this video is just quickly what is lifespan psychology, and then we'll jump into Module 1 and the things you need to get done for your first week and for your first due date. So I'll go through this PowerPoint with the things I'm going to cover, and then I'll go into our Blackboard site to show you what you need to do. So we'll look at the syllabus and the weekly assignment schedule, two of the very most important documents you need to be aware of and use, especially the assignment schedule. You need to use it really several times a week to know what you need to accomplish. This week really is an orientation to how we do things in class, where things are, where to find information. And you just have two small assignments to do. And these are just to show that you are interested in completing this class and taking this class. They'll verify your attendance so that your financial aid can start if you are receiving financial aid. So it's important to do the assignments this week. And then I'll remind you repeatedly in this video, and you'll get tired of me saying this, and that is to check your BCTC email daily. There's a lot of people sending you messages now, and you just sort through those, toss the ones that you do, save the ones that you want to keep. But I will send you a couple emails every week to keep us on track and to send notifications or reminders. So just know that. Also, I'll remind you repeatedly to read the comments I put in your grade book. If I grade an assignment of yours, chances are I've left a comment in there. Usually they're really nice comments like great job, right on track, but sometimes they're comments to correct what you're doing so you can improve your grades on there. And as always, please always email me with all your questions anytime. You will never wake me up. I don't have my email notifications turned on to announce email, so just be confident. You can always send me an email. I'll get back to you as soon as I read it. So let's jump in. I don't want to talk too long and make this video too long. So you are taking Lifespan Psychology, Psych 223. This class is also called Developmental Psychology in a lot of different colleges and universities, but it is the same class. Basically, it teaches how we change and grow from the moment of our conception, when you were this little tiny one-celled creature, and I was too, called the zygote. Isn't that a crazy word? You'll learn what that is. And this class also is how we change from that point in time of conception until our last breath on this earth, so until death. So ways we've changed. So physically, cognitively, as you're aware, cognitive, the word cognitive in psychology means how we think, and then how you've changed emotionally and socially. So lots of changes happen to us throughout our lifetime. And, psychology, we've made lots of theories and created lots of key terms around that. So you'll become very aware of those. So let's look at now more specifically what you need to accomplish this week. So this week is Module 1. The due dates are in Blackboard. I'll show you where to start when I get through this PowerPoint. So this week, it's important that you read the syllabus and understand the late policies and the grading. We'll take a look at that in a little bit. You need to either print or download or keep it somewhere where you can always look at it. I would use it as a checklist, and that's your assignment schedule. It's a list of everything you need to accomplish and the due dates. You'll need to get into your textbook and make sure it opens for you. It's already live. You don't have to put in a code or anything. It's just already embedded in Blackboard. I'm glad the college does it that way instead of other ways they could possibly make that more cumbersome for you. You're going to go into this thing called the Start Here module. You've probably already looked at it if you're here in Module 1. And then you'll do your 2 assignments. So the first assignment is posting a response and a reply in the discussion board. Really easy, no problem. And then a really quick 10-point introduction to class quiz, which is really about the ideas in the syllabus. So if you have your syllabus open while you take that quiz, and you can retake that quiz over and over and over until you earn all of the 10 points. It's the easiest way in class to earn points is to make sure you get all these points in the class quiz. So these are the things you're going to accomplish this first week in this first module. So basically, if you're watching this video, you already know how to get into Blackboard. You've gotten into our class. So this slide really is just showing what you need to do to get into our class. Let me go back to that slide a second. What I want you to do is always start our class from the contents page in Blackboard, and I will show you where that is. It's the very first page. That's where you need to go into the modules and do your assignments from there. I don't want you to go into the calendar and do your assignments that way. I want you to start on the contents page, just so you can keep it in your mind what you need to do. And because those items line up item by what's in the assignment schedule. So you're always on track and organized. We'll look at the syllabus. So the most important parts of this syllabus are how things are graded. You're graded on a point system, and I'll show you that. So the more points you earn in this class, I think the total is 1465. So the closer you get to 1465, if you earn 90% of those points, you get an A, 80% B, and so on and so forth. So that's all in the syllabus. So know that. The next most important thing, besides how I grade, are the late policies. So there's 2 different types of late policies we'll look at. You know what those are, because life happens, things get in our way, and we need to know if there's a little wiggle room. And I will tell you, yes, there is wiggle room in case you're running a little late. So our syllabus sets the expectations for our class. And because every class has different expectations, they have different syllabi. Syllabi is the plural of syllabus, so it's not syllabuses. You know, sometimes we don't know things like that. I didn't. The very next most important document in this class is our assignment schedule. And this really lists our assignments, what they are, the order you need to complete them, the due date they have to be done by. You can always make your own schedule, of course, when you need to get things accomplished. Doesn't have to be my due date. Make your own due date because you have your own schedule. You have maybe work, taking care of kids, taking care of family members. So I know you're really busy with things. So make your own schedule. Just get it done by the time I want it into Blackboard. The assignment schedule is the thing I really want you to either download somewhere so you can always have it to look at on a device or on your computer, or print it, just print the dang thing so you have it so you can use it as a checklist. So assignment schedule, extremely important. So the 2 things you're going to accomplish, and we'll see them when we go into Blackboard, are to do 2 posts in the discussion board. So you'll reply to the questions, post it, and then you'll read other people's posts and reply to them. They each have a certain length they need to be, and the grading rubrics will be in every discussion board post that you do. And then lastly is that intro to class quiz. So things I want you to remember this semester, make sure you use that assignment schedule as your guide to find and complete assignments by the due dates. Be aware of the grading policies and late policies in the syllabus. When you have questions, not if you have questions, but when you have questions, always email me, even if you think it's a dumb question, because if you're new to BCTC, new in college, you might not know things, so ask me. That's what I'm here for. Check your college email every day. People are talking to you and you need to know it. Stay in the loop. Know what's going on. It will reduce your anxiety in the long run, I promise. Make sure you read the grading comments I give you after I do some grading. We're not quite to that point yet. And then finally, I hope you really enjoy learning about lifespan psychology. When I first took it, it really opened my eyes to really helpful methods to understand people. But then later on, when I had children, it really was helpful for me to understand how these little people, why they think and do the things they do, because it turns out their brain is very different and thinks very differently than the adult brain. So I got a lot of benefit out of this class when I raised my children. So at some point, I'll ask for your comments about class. I think halfway through, there's a midterm not an assessment, but asking you your opinion about things. So I'd really like to know how you think this class will be helpful to you. All right, so let me get out of this PowerPoint and share my screen so we can go into our class. So let's do that. All right, you should be able to see this. I'm in our class. I have two different sections of the class, so you might be in 19Z1 or you might be in 19Z2. They are identical. So this is the contents page that you see here. This is where I want you to always start class, not in the calendar. Announcements are here. If you see a number here, that means there's an announcement in there. Go in and read it. The discussion is a shortcut to the discussions, but they are embedded in each of the modules. You don't even need to go into here, really. Gradebook, of course, is gradebooks. The gradebook, your grades, not gradebooks. So when things are graded, I will put comments in there too. So this is where you'll want to start. You might have watched my welcome video, short and sweet. And these little dots here, they just start to fill in after you do the activity. I don't see these dots. I don't pay. They're nothing I do or even see or do anything with. I don't track these dots. So this is just a little convenience that Blackboard puts in there just to say, hey, you went in there. It doesn't mean you did it. It just means you clicked on there and went in it. Here's my email. Please email me anytime. This doesn't open it, obviously, but just copy and paste my email to send me a message in the BCTC system. If you click on here, you can copy and paste my email right here. Just copy and paste that. And there's Phil. He's my former Frenchie, my French bulldog. So I thought you'd get a kick out of having Phil standing here saying hi to you. He's at West 6th, if you know where that is in Lexington. All right, I've gotten sidetracked. So let's take a look at things you've done. So you can get into the textbook here. There are also links in each module. The Start Here module really is like, do you have a junk drawer in your house, where everything just ends up in this drawer? You might have a measuring tape and things that keep potato chip bags closed and, I don't know, assorted string, tape, whatever's in your junk drawer. The Start Here menu or module is the junk drawer. It's like the toolbox that has everything in there, connections to everything that you might need throughout the semester. So go in there and check things out. It has some redundancies in there too, like what our class is, the syllabus, assignment schedule. all of that is in your module 1, so it is redundant, but it does have all these great academic resources. Oops, oh, crazy, I don't want to do that. Sorry about that, going crazy. So anyway, start here menu, that's part of what our module, that's what part of what you need to read when you do module 1. So let's get into module 1. So when you click on these, they open. So here's module 1. I've opened up all the way to module 5. I will open all of the modules for the entire class at some point. I didn't want to overwhelm you with what the heck, we got all this work to do. So that's the method to my madness. So module 1, this is what we do first, the first week. Here's the due date. So you've probably already watched this welcome video. This is the same one that's at the top of the contents page. Important, this is the syllabus, click on it. And then here's the document. There's a couple ways you can access this. You can look at it by clicking on the down menu. And then it shows up. Let me go down a little bit. So these controls here can increase the size of it. You can make it the full page. These 3 dots, you can download it, and you can download alternative formats too. I think there's a feature where you can listen to it, where it might be in different formats. So you can download it, keep it for yourself. I don't see a point of printing the syllabus because it's always just sitting right here. It's the assignment schedule I really need you to be aware of. So here's our syllabus. This is for both classes. So you're not in both of these classes. You're either in one or the other. It's helpful to put this information in an email if you send me an email so I know where to look for your information. So the syllabus, take a look at it, talks all about why students like taking me, the people above me, what this course is, why it matters. If you need accessibility, things to help you make classes more accessible. I know both my daughter and my son have accommodations in their colleges. So definitely, these are really nice people. Go get it. It'll make a difference in your grades, depending on what your accommodation needs are. So the contacts are all here. Here's the information on what equipment works for this class. So any PC or laptop, Chromebooks may not be compatible if they cannot open Word documents or PDF files or save things as Word files. So just know that if you have a Chromebook because you have it in your high school or you had it in your high school, they really don't play well with Blackboard because they're not generally having an operating system that's compatible. You will need high-speed internet. You don't need a webcam for this class on your computer. I know I have one screen that I use for my computer. Most of the time it doesn't have a webcam. If you and I need to talk, we'll either have a phone conversation. I'll share my number with you, or we can FaceTime or something similar, like normal people use. We won't get too fancy with that if we need to talk in person. Mobile devices, such as using your cell phone or an iPad, they're not sufficient to access all the components of this course, and you'll miss things. So use a computer or a laptop. MacBooks are fine. You just need to know when you save a document, you need to save it as a Word file, and you need to figure out how to do that because Blackboard will not allow me to open the pages that are made on a MacBook. So they need to be saved to a Word document. Same if you're using Google Docs. Blackboard doesn't allow me to open those either. So you need to save those to a Word document. So just know that Blackboard's weird. Here's our book. It's an electronic copy of our textbook. If you want a hard copy, they're available at a couple of the different bookstores on campus listed here. And it's just loose leaf, which means you put it in a binder because there's holes punched in it. And it's pretty cheap, $20. So some people, learn better with hard copies. I know for the longest time I did. This no-show policy means you have to get your first couple assignments done this week, else you will be counted as not attending this class or participating, and you will be dropped from the class. It's a pretty serious thing that financial aid needs us to do here. So January 21, you have to get those 2 assignments done. All right, so the next bit of the syllabus goes through the graded components. They're all listed on the assignment schedule, which is both the last page of the syllabus and also standalone. So you'll have reading assignments every week. At the same time, while you're reading, you will answer questions, between 10 and 15 questions every week. Make sure you read this. Do not copy and paste directly from the textbook. I want you to summarize the information and fill in the details. It's really concise, complete and concise answers, really in an outline format. You do not write full paragraphs for these things. It's not an essay question. We're just pulling out the facts and then putting them in maybe bullet points. Everything I do, there's grading guidelines and rubrics, so you know what's going on. You'll apply the information we learn every week in these things called concept application activities. You'll either watch a video and then answer questions about it, or it's a different kind of activity where you might match things. Concept reviews are what you might call just our little chapter quizzes. There were 25 points, so 25 questions after every chapter. So you will take these quizzes. You get 2 tries to answer these questions. So it's not do or die. You answer them right in, this is in the textbook called Achieve. You answer them in there. So per question, if you get a question wrong, stay in there and try to get it right again. So it's 2 tries per question, not 2 tries per the full quiz, if that makes sense. And then lastly, every week you'll do the discussion board posts. There's always 2. You'll post your response to the questions I ask you. You'll submit that, and then you'll read other people's posts and answer those, give a reply or give a comment in a few sentences to other people. Excuse me, I had to get a drink. Throughout the class, there's a major assignment that's woven in chunks until the end of the semester. And that's the parts of this will all come together, and they're called theory application assignments. So even starting with chapter 1, you're going to jump into this major developmental theory called Brothenbrenner's ecological systems model. And it's this model that you're going to start to understand in much more comprehensive manner throughout the semester. So we're going to build step by step. It's called scaffolding. If you know anything, well, you will know something about a researcher called Vygotsky. So step by step, we're going to build our final project. So you'll see those in the assignment schedule too. Part of that is applying your life to Brothenbrenner's theory. Part of it is going in and looking for psychological research about this, about your life and what research says. It probably lines up really well with your experience. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. So we're going to build chunks throughout the semester into one final project. So don't let it intimidate you. It's just step by step. And then lastly, at the end of the semester, way out in May, when the weather is going to be nice, we have the final examination. And that is a comprehensive exam. There is a study guide. Comprehensive means it covers everything from the beginning of the semester to the end. When I first learned about comprehensive examinations, when I was first in college, I thought they were kidding. I'm like, are you kidding? A test over the entire semester's worth of material. Yes, it is a thing, but there's a study guide to help you, and it's open notes with no time limit. So don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of that. All right. So basically, when you get to chapter 1, I'm going to go into a lot more detail about late policies. Just know this week you need to get 2 things done, and I'll go over that in a little bit. So our course is based on our discussion boards, our learning objective questions, our concept applications, our concept reviews, the discussion boards, these other things here, how to read a research article, theory comparison, theory application, final project. Those are those scaffolded projects we'll do in the semester just to get you to this final project. Once you get to the final project stage, you're really just pulling these things together. So it works out pretty well. Total points are 1465. So if you earn 90% of them, it's an A, 80% to 89% is a B, and so forth. So that's grading. If for some reason your life goes completely haywire this semester, you can withdraw from class. So you don't get a grade. You won't get an E if everything went to heck in class. You'll get a W on your transcript, and you can do that. I will always approve it for you if you need to until December. Oops, that's wrong. That should be probably May 1st. I'll correct that. All right. So my expectations for you are to complete your assignments on time. The general rule of thumb of how much time to dedicate to any class is about 2 hours per, 2 to 3 hours per credit. So if it's 2 hours per credit, this is a 3-credit class. The assumption is you will apply, 2 times 3 is 6. If you need more, maybe 9 of class to complete the assignments. So just know that that's the college rule of thumb on how much work faculty usually give students. If for some reason your internet goes out wherever you are in the world, please go somewhere else where there's internet to do your work. Figure that out. You still need to get your work in by the due dates. If everything is just falling apart, email me. Okay, it's not the end of the world. We'll figure it out together of how you're going to get your work in. I'd like you to keep an open mind with other people's opinions and comments and how they view the world. Everyone is different, but our class is this unique mosaic of these beautiful minds all coming together for the one and only time ever in the history of the world and in the future of the world. This is the only time this group of minds will be together thinking and experiencing, and everybody has a different perspective and a different life that they've lived. So don't think that just because your life is one way that everyone else has had that same experience. So keep an open mind, be respectful. Everyone has a right to learn this content without judgment, and always email me whenever you need help. So here's our syllabus. My academic integrity policy is this: there is only one time in class where you will be asked to use artificial intelligence, AI, like ChatGPT, to help you. It will be used to proofread an assignment. That's the only time. Don't use artificial intelligence to do any part of this class. Don't copy and paste from the textbook. We need to grow our beautiful minds, and we can only do that when we use our beautiful minds in wrestling with challenging concepts, trying to learn it. It's the only way a human human brain works, really. If for some reason someone does plagiarize, which means copying someone else's work, whether it's out of the textbook or something that AI created, you will receive a 0 on that assignment. If I'm feeling generous, I might ask you to redo it. If I'm not, it will stay at 0. So just know that. If it happens too often, it escalates in problems. All right, so the assignment schedule is also here. It's also in the next item in this module 1, but I'll just cover it here. I'll show you where to download it in another spot. So this assignment schedule is laid out by module. So you can think of these as weeks as well. So every week, these are the things you do. So module 1 is the first week, etc. So module 2 will jump into the actual content. I'll go over that more when we get to module 2. So it's all laid out here. And this is what your Blackboard site will look like all the way to the last chapters and the final exam. All right, so this is the part, this is the part I'd like you to print, and you can print it in the next item in the content page. So here's the due date, here's the information. Just go check by check, item by item of the things you need to accomplish this week, and then do the 2 assignments by the due date. Okay. So let me get out of here. So that's the syllabus. Email me with questions, please, if I'm going too fast or you miss something. So that's syllabus. The next item so we're still in module 1. You'll go item by item on these. The next thing is the assignment schedule. So it's listed here separately as a standalone. And this is the thing I need you to always be aware of every week. It's what we just looked at, but here it's just standalone, or you can print it for yourself, save it and print it, keep it somewhere, always refer to this. These are actually, I create this as the backbone to create the whole rest of the Blackboard course. And then this week you'll look at, get into the textbook, look around this site so you're comfortable with it, and then here's where you do your first 2 assignments. So you click on this to get into the discussion board. So you'll read it and you'll type your post here, and then you'll post it. And once that's posted, the second thing you do is you're going to reply to a second person. So you'll go in here and click on somebody's, we have a huge class. You'll click on somebody's, what they wrote, so you can read it and then comment to them in a respectful way. Please make sure you read these full instructions for every discussion board post, because there's a requirement of how long they have to be, mostly starting next week. And then lastly, this module 1, you're going to go in and take the Introduction to Class quiz. So you hit Start Attempt 1. So these are just questions. Looks exactly like this. Just answer the questions, go through. If you answer the wrong answer, does it show up? I'm going to submit that, see what happens. And then it says I submitted it. So check out everything here when you take it. I thought the answers showed up after you answered the question. I might look at that. Anyway, I get distracted. So this is module 1. This is what you need to do for the first week. Make sure you check your email every day and email me with any questions. Again, it's right here. And just to wrap up today, both Phil and I say, have a great start. And please send me an email, even just to say hi, and we'll talk soon. Take care.